If there is one case that highlights an abuse of police powers during a protest and how important it is for you to know your rights, it is this one, especially in a climate of government hostility to pro-Palestinian protests. And let's be clear, most people would say, on the whole, the policing of pro-Israeli and pro-Palestinian protests has been good. Now, this case is about a protest in October 2023, calling for an end to the violence against Palestinians. It is reported a protester was arrested and violently dragged through the crowd for failing to remove his Keffiyah scarf when approached by police officers, and was charged under Section 60 AA of the Criminal Justice and Public Order Act 1994. Now, what you need to know about the wide police power of Section 60 AA is when it is authorised by a senior police officer during a protest, a police officer has the power to require any person to remove any item which the constable reasonably believes that person is wearing wholly or mainly for the purpose of concealing his identity. This means a police officer can order you at the protest to remove your face covering, and that could be a mask, a niqab, a scarf, and yes, a Keffiyah scarf. But only where they reasonably believe the person was wearing the covering wholly or mainly for the purpose of concealing their identity. Now, when the officer gave evidence at the trial of the defendant protester who was wearing a Keffiyah, it became obvious that the police officer had completely failed to consider whether the defendant had been wearing the covering to conceal his identity. You see, the defendant protester might have been wearing a face covering for health reasons, as reported, or for religious reasons. And so at trial, it was accepted the officer had simply been forcing anyone wearing a mask to remove it under the threat of arrest, clearly acting unlawfully. As a result, the defence submitted there was no case to answer at the close of the prosecution case, and the charges against the pro-Palestinian defendant protester were dismissed. No police powers and your rights, and follow for more.